Remember that toy that you used to play with for hours when you were a kid? That one that was the absolute centre of your world? Or that TV show that you'd watch every Saturday morning, not to mention its theme tune? Or that chocolate bar, or sports team, or house, or even a smell? Remember that person? The one who made you really feel feelings? Being nostalgic is often seen as a bad thing, being stuck in the past, reminiscing on things that you can't let go of. But pick any one of those things that we just mentioned right now and think about it. Really remember it. A song, a TV show, a person. I'm going to guess that you're smiling. Or smiling on the inside at least, you're not a total weirdo. So it can't be that bad then, can it? Is nostalgia good or bad? Is nostalgia amazing?
I only get nostalgic because everything is so rubbish now.
Maybe you're just suffering from a common mind trick called Declinism that makes you believe that generally everything is getting worse. Is it getting worse?
Yeah, like I said, everything is just getting worse. You not listening? Trick of the mind. I'll trick your mind.
Declinism, or Declinism bias, was first coined by German historian Oswald Spengler in his book The Decline of the West. This cheery little number proposed that the decline of every civilization is inevitable. A dangerous, depressing cocktail is made when declinism is mixed with confirmation bias, where you seek out information to confirm your own beliefs, coupled with the 24-hour news cycle and social media platforms constantly hitting you with bad news. Or maybe everything is getting worse, but that's a whole different video, I guess, and a long one at that.
Is it declinism, or is everything just fineism in this world of mineism?
You're rubbish.
You're rubbish.
The term nostalgia was first used in 1688 by Johannes Hofer to describe the condition of Swiss mercenaries who had left their Swiss homes to go and fight for various European armies. Suffering from insomnia, anxiety, and irregular heartbeats, they were affected by this cerebral disease. They were suffering from being homesick. With the Greek nostos meaning homecoming and algos being pain or sorrow, Hofer described their condition as nostalgia. At around the same time, physician J.J. Schautzer disagreed with Hofer, and believing that the condition was specific to these Swiss mercenaries who had descended from their homes high up in the Alps to lower spots all across Europe, he explained the cause of this condition in a brilliantly crazy way. He said, "A sharp differential in atmospheric pressure causing excessive body pressurization, which in turn drove blood from the heart to the brain, thereby producing the observed affliction of sentiment." Now, I think there's so much wrong with that, but I'd love his confidence to so assuredly put that theory out there into the world.
The amazing whatever.
Understanding of nostalgia meandered around over the centuries, from being thought to be specific to those Swiss mercenaries moving to fight for different countries, and they might be onto something. We'll come back to that, but not for the reasons they thought. Nostalgia could get so bad that depression could set in, and self-care, hygiene and medicine would be neglected to a point where disease could take hold and actually kill the sufferers. Death by nostalgia. Then, in the 18th century, it was considered a compulsive disorder, eventually being commonly accepted as a form of depression, or similar to grief. Although it was disassociated from homesickness, it was even at one time thought to be a psychosis affecting specifically students and immigrants who, after a big change in their life, struggle to adapt. Similar to those Swiss mercenaries that were mentioned earlier, moving abroad, struggling to adapt to this huge change in their life.
You struggling to adapt to living on this boat?
No, I love it.
Tell me about your toilet again.
So, having a change in life and then feeling nostalgic. With hindsight, it seems pretty obvious that you can't have nostalgia without a change. You can't feel nostalgic about something that you still have. So it wasn't just our ability to evaluate the mind that discovered nostalgia. Maybe the modern world could well be seen to have actually created it. Think about it. In many places and communities around the world, there will have been decades or even centuries of stable lives, living in the same house, doing the same tasks, even possessions that were being passed down through generations. Then, people began moving around, settling in different areas, even different countries, spreading loved ones across the globe, never or rarely to return. And as we've mentioned, nostalgia isn't just homesickness. You can just as easily get nostalgic over stuff. So the fact that, I guess you could say, we started living a more disposable life, things get replaced, capitalism drives a need for ever more products and stuff, more media, more things to see and remember. Maybe this is the true birth of nostalgia. Or at least nostalgia as we know it today. Mass nostalgia.
Did you make that up? Mass nostalgia? I like it. You should use it.
It feels like over recent years, the world is changing so fast.
Declinism.
No, not necessarily for the worse, just changing. It's got to be more than any other time in human history, particularly if you say the last maybe 50 years. Accelerated by technology, and maybe even more recently the pandemic. If we agree with the conclusion that it's change that drives nostalgia, then with these fast-paced changes, nostalgia is snowballing and will probably continue to accelerate.
Mass nostalgia?
It's now so powerful and prevalent that these clever advertisers and media makers have hijacked that feeling of nostalgia and developed a potion to sprinkle over things to make us want to buy stuff and watch stuff. But why is it so powerful?
Because humans are weak.
Well, it's more complicated than that. Coping. Nostalgia does produce a potent mix of dopamine and serotonin, creating an obvious feedback loop. But if we circle back to the idea of nostalgia being prompted by change, we've developed nostalgia as a coping mechanism to deal with that change. It's not a weakness or not being able to let go of the past. If things are bad or hard now, it's a reminder that things were once good and they can be again. Nostalgia is the motivation to keep going and to find your good. It's something to wrap yourself up in when things are crappy, to get through. Even if this isn't a conscious thought, and it probably isn't, nostalgia can be helping you understand what you want in life, what you find important, to move forward. Connecting. Nostalgia can create a feeling of connectedness.
That can't be a word.
Well, it is. A connectedness or bond to particular individuals, or to society as a whole, through shared experiences, loves, likes and dislikes. That basic tribal human desire of belonging to something and to not be alone.
What if someone out there wanted to feel connected to us? Is there anything they could do? A like and a subscribe, perhaps? Turn on notifications to never miss a video, conceivably?
They could, and they'd be very welcome to be a part of whatever this is.
Whoa there, horsey. We don't just want anyone, though.
Yeah, we do. Who you are. All these things that we recollect or reminisce over, the things that give us nostalgia, they're the ingredients that make up the complicated recipe of us. Gathered over the years of the making and development of us, nostalgia is the reminder of who we are, who we really are. In an ever more inauthentic world, nostalgia shows us our authentic self, identifying the building blocks of what has made us. Often from a long time ago when you were loved for simply being you, and you loved simply because you loved. Nostalgia stems from homesickness. Well, these things we loved or love, they are home, and you take them with you wherever you go. We should embrace the feeling of nostalgia because things do change, and it's not the strongest who survive, but the most adaptable to change.
We cannot direct the winds, but we can adjust the sails.
Tolstoy?
Dolly Parton.
We should make the world a better place by making our own little world a better place. The one that we connect with, that we interact with on a daily basis. The people and the things in it. And how can we do that without the filter of knowing what will be good? Well, nostalgia is that filter. The filter to separate the bad things to be forgotten and left behind, and the good things to be carried forward with you like a map or a toolkit, so you can live your good life.
Your amazing life, we could say?
Creating your own new shiny future nostalgia. Or, even better, what could be our ultimate goal in 10 years, 20 years, maybe more, to become a part in someone else's toolkit, someone else's nostalgia. Be someone who made someone really feel feelings. Nostalgia is amazing. I talk about the idea of be amazing whatever. That is finding the things in life that make life worth living. Well, The things that make us nostalgic, both now and in the future, are literally, maybe exclusively, those things. Because of the things that make you nostalgic. Because of everything. Despite everything. Be amazing, whatever.
Be amazing, whatever.